instead of on the top of the phone like the Droid Razr, 1, 2, 3. If you look at the other side of the keyboard, this is CP Tech.
So this is my Netgear mobile hotspot by, well, with service provided by Boost Mobile. I got Boost Mobile because I heard that they had some pretty good deals. I think I got 10 gigabytes for $50 or something like that. So I was like, all right, not a bad deal. I know they're not going to be the same coverage as far as Verizon, but I figured I'd give it a chance because I get free Wi-Fi at a lot of different locations. So I said maybe this will work. Well, it's about to be 2 weeks now that I haven't been able to use this. Actually, I used it for a month prior, and it was actually better than I expected as far as coverage. I got coverage in a decent amount of spaces, but then what happened is at the end of the month, I got a month-to-month contract, so I could easily turn it off whenever I wanted to because I don't always need this. So at the end of the month, I paid again, and I noticed that the data usage has been saying into this month, it says 9.54 gigabytes used, which is under my 10 gigabyte limit. But according to Boost Mobile, the number I see here is not necessarily the same as what they show on their computers. And it was just this circular, confusing conversation. What's the right number? I mean, and why is this telling me the wrong number? How am I supposed to know what my usage is if this number is not accurate? But regardless, this number is nowhere near accurate in any context. And the number that they have on their systems is not accurate either. Bottom line, long story short, it didn't refresh. This is the usage from last month plus this month, which ran into a trigger of me exceeding my data usage, so they've stopped my service. So just to be clear, when I paid again for this month, it should have been reset to 0, and I should be starting my new data usage for this month for that payment. But it didn't. It still says 9.54 because it's still including last month, which I already paid for. It's going on 2 weeks now that it's been like this, and I cannot use it. If I try to use it, it's going to tell me that I basically don't have any service, like my service has been turned off or whatever it is, but it's referencing the fact that according to this, I've exceeded my monthly allowance. But again, that's from last month, not this month. I've spent about 3 hours on the phone talking to these guys back and forth. One of the people I talked to was really, really, really incompetent. I mean, you want to talk about reading a script and really being stuck on the script. She was trying to get me to reset the service on this, and I guess her instructions were outdated, so she got to a point where she was stuck, and then she kind of pretended like she wasn't interested in doing that anymore and kind of moved on to something else. And then I kept saying, what about the resetting of the data? Like, what happened to that? And she just kind of, pretend like she didn't hear what I was saying, and it was just really, really going round and round. So I was like, okay, look, I need to talk to someone else. This is going nowhere. You don't know what you're doing. I didn't say that, but it's like I need to talk to someone else. So she escalated me to another department, and then they're looking at it and they're like, oh, okay, we got to escalate this to our escalations team, which apparently is in Mexico. So the escalations team is now the ones that are supposedly working on this and refusing to update me on the situation. It's just days and days are going by. I have absolutely no service that I've paid for. No one's calling me to apologize. No one's calling me to give you an update. I'm just sitting here in the wind. Maybe it's going to take another couple weeks, a month. Keep in mind, they don't have an outage. It's a simple glitch, and somehow the data usage is saying that I've exceeded it. Now, I have an engineering background, and I can tell you, I'm pretty sure that someone at Boost Mobile knows how to refresh this data, at least as a quick fix, so that my data allowance will be 20 gigabytes, right? It's a simple number. Change my data allowance so that at least I can have the service, because I have service. You can see I got the bars. I have an active account. My account's good. Everything's good. It's just for this little detail of it thinking that I've exceeded my usage. So increase my usage while you guys work on the thing, rather than having me with no service. So anyway, I want to avoid other people having the same problem that I'm having. So I'm going to be documenting this whole process, and I'm going to let you guys know what's happening so the world can know how Boost Mobile conducts business in Mexico or Mexico.
Instead of on the top of the phone like the Droid Razr, 1, 2, 3. If you look at the other side of the keyboard, this is CP Tech.